Hey guys, welcome to another MapleStory 2 video. So this is going to be a kind of a quick one, and it's another news update, or not another news update. This is the first news update I think I've made in a while, and I know you guys don't see these too often on my channel, but this is a Head Start related the Head Start related news video, so I want to get it out for you guys, because anyone who's into the Head Start because of the Founders Pack, I just want to let you know if you didn't get this blog, be sure to read it. The link will be in the description below. I understand some people are already making this video or they've already released one, but I want to do a rendition of my own. Okay, so Nexon is actually doing a very good job regarding players' feedback from MapleStory 2. In fact, most of the changes that they've been making so far have been almost 90% related to whatever the players have been asking for. For instance, MapleStory 2 is designed to be free to play completely. No pay to win aspects in which you can spend money to get extra bonuses. There will not be any means for you to get more cubes or more resets or more increasement. Increasement's not even a word. For more increasing, advantages by spending money on the game, which is awesome. That's actually great. It'll reward you for spending more time on the game, and I think I'm going to be doing that too. Plus, it would be nice to not have to spend a couple $100s every week or so. Alright, so let's just go through it really quickly. I did skim through it a bit, but if you guys want the TLDR, they've basically made some level progression changes because players have been complaining that the epic quests or the storyline quests were the only thing you could do to level up at a reasonably fast pace. It would take you about 6 to 8 hours to get to level 50. But now, and this is kind of a questionable change, at least from my perspective, because this is what kind of made MapleStory 1 go down the drain in terms of leveling, they've increased the efficiency of monster hunting in general. In other words, grinding is more of a viable option. Now, I don't know exactly how much they've done that for, because especially if they do host 2x events and the like, I hope that they do buff I hope they also buff the quest experience, because that would actually be very good, because quests are completely obsolete in MapleStory 1 unless it's for a boss. So I do hope that they keep that in mind, but they said that they're going to keep them balanced between each other, which I think is a very good quality of life change. And also, they're making it so that the epic quests will not keep you locked in your progression of getting more AP and SP for your character. In other words, if you want to take some time away from the epic quest or the story mode, just want to hang out, go do some fishing, or train with other people, then you can get your SP and AP that way. Because before, to get your extra skill points and to get your extra stat points, you had to finish the quest line, and some people didn't feel like doing that just because you had to do, like I said, 6 to 8 hours of questing. So instead what they did was that they associated via trophies. So if let's say you got your 50th slime kill, or maybe you fished for an hour. So it rewards players who try to do more and explore more of the game, which is exactly what I was hoping for. One thing about MapleStory 1 that really started to be very streamlined is that there was no benefit at all to doing anything else, or to sidetrack from the original your initial storyline and progressing through leveling up, getting through the Arcane River. But for this one, Nexon wants you to go and get as many achievements as possible and try to go for a completionist route, like the 100%, 120 shine Super Mario 64 way, to get everything that you need to not only have more fun in the game, but to improve your character, which is awesome. And yes, players did complain quite a bit, in fact profusely, about the fact that experience was nerfed from the epic quests from the closed beta 1. Or from the closed beta 2, they nerfed the experience from epic quests, which made it very difficult, because then there would be huge gaps in between each quest that you had to do. You had to spend a good 2 hours to train to get to level 50, which was terrible. So from what we're seeing right now, if you attack monsters within a certain level range, you'll get up to a 55% boost in experience rate, which isn't game breaking, but it is still significant, which is Nexon's been doing a bit more statistical analysis, and they said that it should be about 30% faster, which I think is fine. And they're also trying to prevent botting and macro issues, so I like that they're being prudent, and I like that they're looking ahead already by trying to nerf meso drop rate from field monsters. In other words, they want you to get your mesos from questing or other means, which is good. It's very good. So I think they're finally starting to realize that the meso problem, or the botting problem in MapleStory 1, is becoming more of a pervasive issue. Anyways, for revivals, people have been talking about this for quite a bit. I myself don't care too much about it, but it will become relevant when I start doing dungeons. They're trying to remove merit revival because that is a pay-to-win, quote-unquote, thing. I don't really consider it too much of a pay-to-win thing, because no one necessarily complained about Wheel of Destiny or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about, that respawn token thing. Back then, there were no easy ways to collect them. Obviously, you can collect 3 on a daily basis from Matilda, but back then, when the only way to get them was from the cash shop, no one really complained about that too much. I mean, some people were like, oh, it sucks that we have only 1 life, but it's more of a... I don't think it's really a game-breaking thing. I think it's perfectly fine. I have no problem if the merit revival's up, but I would like there to be a default death count that you have. But that's my 2 cents on that regard. Dungeon difficulty experience and meso adjustments, I think they're trying to make it so that the dungeons don't take you as long. I do remember, especially during Closed Beta 2. Closed Beta 1, I don't think they made any differences. They did make things harder in Closed Beta 2, to where I was stuck in the very first dungeon for like a good 10 minutes trying to take out the same boss just because of how long it took. So I'm glad that they're nerfing it. They're making the difficulty level of dungeons under level 20 to be a bit more streamlined, so it doesn't take you like 5 years to do it, which is good. In fact, they even made a reference to Dark Souls. As for experience change we see from the dungeons, after 30 dungeon runs for the week, players regain much less experience when doing dungeon runs, so we're adjusting the rate to provide the same amount of experience. Dungeons are actually the best way to earn experience outside of questing, which is what people have been resorting to during Closed Beta 2 because of the experience nerf from Epic Quests. And there's only 30 dungeons or there's only 30 times you can do a dungeon, which is not that much. It sounds like a lot, but it actually isn't. And they're also increasing the mesos that you get from Closed Beta to Head Start, so you have a little bit more money to work with because items are a bit more expensive. You know, white potions and stuff like that, they do cost quite a bit. And the people who purchase the Founders Pack will be getting more meso, not enough to make it game-breaking, because they were afraid that bots would be mostly targeting dungeons to farm out meso. And so it's kind of like a hard middle ground for them to find. They want to make it so that players can very easily feel rewarded for their efforts for the time that they put into grind, but at the same time they don't want to leave the feature up for exploitation by the botters. And that's extremely hard to draw the fine line between, because botters and hackers will always find another way to do things. Now, housing improvements. Yes, thank you. Okay, so one of the biggest gripes I had about housing improvements was that it was too expensive just to buy the plot of land. Very realistic, actually. It costs like, I don't know, depending on where you live, it's not necessarily the house that costs a lot of money, but the property. To buy the property, that's like more than 80% of the cost to build the house, as far as I'm concerned. But what they're doing is now extending the size of the house will be free. Back then it cost a profuse amount of money. And the basic blocks will be free. So your initial, I believe when they're talking about your basic blocks, either they're talking about the basic furniture, or they're talking about the plot of land that you're purchasing. So the small amount of, I think what they're saying, so it says price of paid blocks would be much cheaper compared to Korean and Chinese versions of MapleStory 2, and interior level requirements for certain blocks are removed. So I think from that alone, I don't think they're talking about the plot. I think they're still going to keep the plot of land the price that it is, but to furnish your house, to make it as extravagant as you see here. Looks like you have a royal library here of sorts. Got a pirate ship Caribbean here, kind of like a resort style mountain spring type dealio here. And then I think this is the Lost Temple of Atlantis? Kind of? Is this underwater? It looks underwater, I think it is, but it's probably just also like an ice temple. Anyways, they're just making it a little bit more enjoyable for you to be able to build a nice quality house without investing all of your resources into. I have no problem with that. I actually think that's a really cool thing. However, it still would be nice. I still think that Nexon shouldn't make the housing completely free, because there should be a sense of sort of like a status, like a material gain for you to have whenever you walk into someone who's got a really extravagant house. You can tell they put a lot of time and effort into it, a lot of resources. But I think it's good to give us, I guess, they say the basic blocks will be free, which means applying regular furnishing to your house would be perfectly fine. I think they were talking about like a sofa or a bed, maybe a stairwell here and there, because when you first buy the plot of land, you have absolutely nothing. And like I said, in real life, it's more buying the plot of land is the expensive part, not necessarily building the house. The house still is expensive, but it's more just getting the plot of land to build the house in. So I think it's a bit realistic. As for more other stuff, they're trying to update, or they're trying to modernize MapleStory gameplay, because they're still using the up, down, left, right arrow keys, which is kind of archaic at this point. And most of the time people are resorting now using like a WASD mouse control, kind of like Minecraft, Realm of the Mad God, Terraria, even League of Legends. Well, you don't use WASD to move, of course, but it's just that kind of like keyboard setup. And I think that's a good idea. I'm used to it, so I don't really mind like arrow keys, but if they can figure out a way to make mouse control work where you like right click to move to a certain location, that'd be perfectly fine. They're adding Brazilian Portuguese in-game strings for Brazilian players. Okay, Copy, if you're watching this video, there you go, buddy. And to avoid any concern related to enchanting being part of the pay-to-win monetization mechanic, we're removing Spirit Spellstones and Spirit Guardstones from the game. Which means that right there you go, there are no cubes. I believe the Spirit Spellstones are like scrolls and cubes in the game, so they're taking that away, or at least, yeah, they are taking that away, which is going to be awesome. I still think Nexon's going to try to implement some way for them to add sustainability for the game in terms of like a monetary sense, because, you know, they are a company, they still need to make money. But from what I've heard so far, the fashion aspect of MapleStory has been very successful. People have been designing a whole bunch of different things, like a bunch of cool outfits. In fact, I actually bought an Uchiha Clan hoodie, which I love a lot just because I'm a huge Naruto fan. And that's doing fine, that's doing perfect, because you have to purchase merits to purchase the rights to design something, and then you can sell the design, which can profit not only Nexon, but also profit you, because you can get more merits out of it. and they've just been doing some more quality of life changes. But for the most part, I'm super excited about this. I think they've been doing a fantastic job. A lot of hype for MapleStory 2 has died down because of the second closed beta coming out that sort of like screwed everyone over. But you guys got to understand, Nexon's been trying their best to make the game as, not perfect of course, because you know, they say, where is it? They say actually right here, where am I? Okay, see, we understand the changes we finalized for the Head Start might not satisfy everyone, perfectly understandable, you can't make everybody happy, but we consider Head Start to be the starting point of a long journey with the game, and hope to communicate more with the players and constantly improve the game. So already right there, Nexon's doing a lot more work on MapleStory 2 in regards to adhering to the fans and the community's desires than MapleStory 1, which is why I'm really gonna love this game. But yeah, I just wanted to get you guys updated on it if you haven't seen. It's kind of like a rundown that I've made. I know it's a bit long, but I wanted to make also a more natural video because I know that I've made a lot of scripted videos in the past couple months. I know I speak pretty fast, so I do apologize for that. I'm just super excited. It's going to be coming out on Monday, and I'll be making a stream announcement video this weekend to let you guys know when I'm going to be streaming, because I'm going to be streaming when it comes out, and you get to look forward to a face cam if you want to. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.